Friday, January 7th, something like that. I had a jam last Friday with my buddy Doug. All was good in the world. Well, in the basement. And then I guess about 2-3 days ago, or at least that night, I thought I smelled something a bit odd, but I've had dead mice and stuff in here, and you know, different issues. Probably smelled some sewer backup from not using showers or toilets in the house, you know, all the time, whatever. So by yesterday morning, when I came downstairs, like, you know, it would reek. It would smell like, I didn't know, I thought dead mouse maybe gas from the furnace, you know, maybe the sewers, I don't know. So I checked everything I could, and you know, the furnace seemed to be working okay. I was checking out the burners and stuff. Maybe I booked a maintenance cleaning and all that, so the guy will come in a couple of weeks. Anyways, was really concerned. I called Enbridge, the old "Do you smell gas" hotline. Guy came right away, really nice, super nice. As soon as he walked in, he goes, "Nah, that's not gas. That's something like a dead mouse." So that was kind of a relief in a way, so I could keep on using the furnace, even though it's been mild out. And then, so he was here yesterday, a couple hours, did some work, gave me a new, what do you call it, gas meter, and some other valve he fixed out on the outside of the house. Good guy, gave me some tips, we talked a bit. Anyway, so he left, and I was going to start looking for mice in the ceilings. Figured maybe they'd be up in here. And when I sniffed down here, when I'd come down, like, I would kind of smell it in that far front room. That's the front sort of storage room. I would kind of smell it in the furnace room, but not specifically. So, you know, that's why the gas theory was kind of out. But, and this room smelled too, but it kind of had a pine needles, wet grass kind of smell. I didn't put two and two together. Everything was good in here. I was checking things out until I went. This is where my drums are. And then this big, wonderful rug from my Aunt Helen, bless her soul, I've had that for so many years, was underneath my drums. Everything looked okay, and then when I stepped on the carpet, it was freaking wet. And I go, oh no, not another leak somewhere. So it was a wet carpet, and I go, okay, well that's it. That's where the mildewy weird smell is. So I got the old wet vac out, sucked up what I could, got the humidifier running, just emptied the tank, it was pretty full this morning. Cracked open a window, got fans running again, and so it had turned out that, so again, the water was coming out. I think my crack was about there. It might have been there, I forget. And anyways, it had come in there, and it had kind of gotten wicked up by the carpet. There was also a small little leak over on this side here. And this wall here, up to about there, is exposed wall on my neighbor's side because our houses are offset a bit. His is about 4 feet in at the back and 4 feet out at the front compared to mine. So, and behind these styrofoam sheets, from my other videos, like you'd see the, you know, sealed up gaps or cracks or whatever all over the place. I don't know if the one down there is coming from that side or if it just came down here, found its way along the bottom, and managed to come out over here a bit. But anyways, I guess it had gone on for a couple of days, enough to like really wet the carpet underneath. So I'm just going to mop up this floor just because there were some stains from where I had the carpet up on a step stool and a workbench just to get it up and off. And so there's areas where the water kind of, you know, left some kind of stinky stain. This carpet has not been cleaned, so it was probably, like when I emptied the water from the wet vac, it was pretty brown. A lot of dirt in there, but it might also be that this was bringing in soot from the walls or whatever was coming in from outside was kind of muddy anyways. You know, I mean, this coming in against the dirt, right? My guess is that it's coming in near the bottom of the wall and not up in the top. Originally, all the repairs I did, like it turned out that this is the sliding door up in the kitchen up here, and their deck, the old rotted deck, was right up against the wall, so it was coming in the corners of the sliding door. I had to fix all that, and then when I redid this, I just kind of put some frame for the ceiling, and I put these styrofoam sheets on the wall. They are glued, but I could pull them off or I'll pop them off probably in the spring and take a look. I think it's going to have to be excavated, or I'll have to dig or hire someone to do the tarring or whatever they use on the back. Problem is, it's probably a crack down low, so that's going to be a good 4 or 5 feet of digging to do. I'm in a townhouse and I don't know if they can get one of those mini scoops in unless they can lift it and drop it in from Hunt Club. I don't know. Also, I don't know how much that costs. I may try to do it myself. Maybe I'm going to start up a GoFundMe finally for all this housework. Anyways, because I think that's going to be a big repair if I have to hire it out. I may cut off the bottom. I don't think I can pull it all off because again, they're adhered with some pretty heavy duty adhesive. But yeah, maybe I can cut the bottom of it off and then just see it. If I still have some left over that, what they call it, whatever the hydraulic cement that keeps water out. Yeah, so I can try to patch it, but likely it's just going to find another way to get in, right? Anyhow, just a pain in the ass, a little bit of a panic. Sorry I'm talking so much, but yeah, I really thought there was at first a dead mouse in the walls, which is a pain because that's a week or two before that smell goes away. And I've definitely had mouse, but I haven't seen any in years since I plugged up every hole conceivable that I could find. And then there was that scare about whether it was gas or not. I don't want the house to blow up, so that was kind of freaky, but Enbridge came through fast and quick. And then I didn't even think to check the floor in here. I mean, I was in the room looking around. Everything looked okay. I didn't see any visible wet patches, but there's not a lot of light in this room. And yeah, so once I stepped on the carpet to go check something, I felt the squish of the water underneath my feet. So that's just been another pain. You know, there's always projects that I want to do or got to do. And the problem for me is there's always some big emergency that comes up that I've got to get at like right away, and then that takes days. Or in the case of this last March, when I first noticed the carpet was wet, like it had made its way all out to here. It was wet out here. And this room was a bedroom that the previous owners had built. And this was my jam space, and we just jammed in the room. And turned out, probably for 15 or 20 years, it had been leaking, going underneath the floor. There was tile and there was laminate on top of that. So in between every layer, even under the tile, it was wet, damp, moldy, and gross. And that's why when I demolished this room, found this back wall and this side wall had a lot of patches for previous leaks, I guess. And I don't know, nobody disclosed that. Do they have to disclose that kind of thing? Especially because it was a finished basement, I couldn't see it. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna mop this floor with some Pine Sol or something. It's still kind of musty in here. I'm sure it's that carpet. I'll bring it to the garage, although it might just be musty in the garage, but I'll figure it out. This spring I'll air it out, give it a rinse, and try to maybe do a carpet clean on it. So I'll clean this up. I may put the carpet back down and like let it air. In here, the smell is kind of gone, so it's just around a little bit, but I'll get her done. And in the meantime, you know, half of the gear's there. There's a bunch of gear back in that room back over there. Why do you guys care? But I'm going to show you anyways. So, guys have various cymbal stands. More gear here, some more drums. I may move more of the drums in here. They get a smell, I'm sure. This can actually pull hair out. Got some stuff on top of there too. So that's my story. So I'm gonna go at it for a bit. Got some other things to do. I'm not getting any of the jobs I really wanted to get done. I have a faucet in the kitchen to replace because that thing has been a danger spot. And I've got the tap, and I have to do the install, but that's going to be one of those 4-hour days where you shut the water off, you get in underneath the sink, you break your neck, trying to undo everything, clean it up, get the new one in place, hope everything fits, and hope your water, there's no leaks in the fittings and any of the hoses. But anyways, yeah, because of all this, I'm putting all that other stuff off, and then it's back to work on Monday, and it's just hard to keep on top of it. So maybe a GoFundMe, and if it works, then I'll start hiring contractors to do all this heavy work that this aging 60-year-old is enjoying but not loving. All right, over for now. Yeah, I forgot to add that I did go up, you know, with my light. I was up on the ladder up here and I was looking in. Can't really see it anyways, but you know, I'm just checking up there to see, first of all, did the wood, like if it came in from the screen, from the sliding door area, then you'd think that some of this stuff might be wet. And there was no water. And I can see up in there, you know, it's all dry when you kind of go along and look at it. So I checked it all there, checked up there, went down, I checked in underneath all these here, you know. This board here pulls back a bit, so I peeled back and I looked down along the side there. Don't see anything wet. And the main cause is down here somewhere. I know it looks dark and wet from the picture, but it's just the different spots in the concrete that either have some glue sitting on it from before. But that's just a patch of, I don't know what that was. Anyways, seems to be dry down in underneath all these. I don't think you'll be able to see it, but it seems dry enough, so I don't know, but I'll just have to watch. I may not set the drums back up right here. I may try to come up with it, put them in another corner, but I got my water sensor, which I'll put down here somewhere. Maybe I'll put a couple of towels up against the wall, but if it happens again, the towels will start soaking up. They'll start smelling musty, and then I'll know exactly what it is, and I'll get that cleaned up. So that's what I wanted to add. Went out. Okay, so Sunday afternoon. Got the underlayment boards there, the 2x2s. It was at Lowe's on sale, 7 and change each. So yeah, so that's about $100 worth, 12 of them. I'm gonna do 3x4, get them down, and then use it kind of as a drum riser. And I had a small leak here that I had fixed, and so I think there was a bit coming in around here. I think it's around there. Anyways, if any of it comes through, and it has been small, like it did just kind of dampen this rug, wet it. It wasn't soft, but after a couple of days it had soaked up, you know, a certain amount. So anyways, yeah, so these have the bridges there, the star pattern, and the water can go underneath there if it's a small amount and dry up. And I think what I'll do is I'll use the water alarm down at the end. I'll go down a certain distance here, and then when it comes out, we're at the edge, the water would trickle from there and it would go through. There was one spot over there, so again it would come through towards the drain hole that's in the laundry room. So, and then I'll put a little towel, maybe one of these towels, just there, and the water meter on the odd chance, and then I'll look at it, you know, every couple of days. I'll try to check. Sometimes you don't come down for a few days into this room, so that's why this happened and I didn't realize it. So yeah, so sort of put down this subfloor, and then put the carpet up on top of there. That'll be like my drum riser. That way the carpet doesn't get soaked if there is more water, and I can check it out from the back in the spring. Well, I just realized there's a plan B. When I came in to get my hands washed, I forgot that I have a whole bunch of this barn board kind of linoleum that I saved from the basement here when we had the flood. And when I was doing, I got it carpeted, so I stored a bunch of these. So there may be enough of these planks to do it, but they're heavier, and I don't really feel like doing it now because it's probably already 5:30. But yeah, I'll try that next time. We'll see if I can get that to work. That was the furnace. All right. So for the moment, I'm back to a carpet. So yeah, so I mean, actually my drums will be on an angle, so I don't know. I could just try to buy a larger carpet, because I can always use another one because there's lots of still empty concrete floor here to fill up. So yeah, that's the plan for now. The other thing I could do is I could buy those Dollarama stick-on tiles, you know, the 1 foot by 1 foot for like $1 a piece. Or actually now with this economy, they're probably $2 a piece, but just these plastic stick-ons, because I may have to dismantle this at some point, but stick on just those little fake tile things just to make it look a little nicer. But I'll see. On the other hand, I may, because the floor is cold, I may just eventually buy more of these dry core and finish the rest of the basement. Do it under here too eventually, but yeah, time will tell. Alright, leave the pile of drums there for now. Eventually I'll get them all set back up. But alright, that was today's short adventure. Get the slivers. So the plan is use these guys here. I think I have enough to cover the or I'll find out soon enough. So I'm just going to give them a wipe because it's been a few years that they've been sitting there. There's probably some crud on the bottom. Gonna grab some gloves just so it's not my hands. I don't know if I need them or not, but what the heck. Safety. Put in the drawer. Got my knee pads, I got my respirator for paint, sawdust, some other N95 masks, rubber gloves, extra masks, a couple of spare cartridges, the ear protection, goggles, and then these guys here. There's a techie packed in there. I think that's up here right there. Enough. Oops. Let's do this. Alright, I should also get my beer ready. Crack a beer. Work here on a Saturday afternoon when you're doing some work. Battery's dying, I'm going to have to change that, so I'll stop for a sec. Okay, battery. Using my little action cam on a small tripod. I'll get it in the corner here so you can watch me grab the planks. I think you really need to see that. But yeah, I don't know if you'll be able to see too well here, but it is what it is. I'm going to use the throwaways just because I don't feel like rinsing out sponge every minute and a half. I'm sure that's wasteful, but again, sometimes convenience beats out. Probably don't need these either. I don't know. I'll bring up 2 at a time. There's 20 of them, so. odd-shaped ones out of the way. They were originally installed on an angle, so there was a lot of small pieces cut. Yeah, they had gotten wet in a flood. They were out in the main section of the basement out there, so I've got it carpeted now. Probably a bad idea, but anyways, it's warmer if I watch movies down here. So yeah, just gonna clean up this crud. Good. So, got some floor space now. Yeah, this is pretty gross. I gotta clean this area up and see if I have a piece of drywall that I can fit in there. So these are the pieces that had some angles cut. Like I say, this was all done at angles. This room, no, it was the room out there and the other storage room area. So if I'm gonna cut them in half eventually, I'll probably use these first. That'll give me 1, 2, 3, 4. So anyways, I don't know, we'll see. Come back and clean that later. You don't have to see that. Let's go take a look. Lights off. Face wipe. Oh, all done. Behind the camera, Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna want to pull this out a little bit. I don't want this hanging off the side, so I'll step on it, but if I bring it out, there'll be like an inch on each side. Probably okay for now. Or I'd make it flush here and back in there. Sometimes I have cables, so I may be able to run it. Another happy Friday. So woke up to my water alarm going off, and I've got more leaking. It did come underneath the drums, which is great. It's coming out. Adjustments. Coming out around there. There's a shadow from the speaker, but yeah, it comes out about there. Pull it around here. Wet that carpet a bit. When I check down here, where's the flashlight? Anyways, so there's nothing along this wall here, which makes me think it's coming out the other wall, where I think I had another crack last time. Can't see exactly, but I'm imagining it's somewhere around here, a few feet from the wall, which makes me think actually the ceiling's okay. So yeah, probably down low in the wall. Sort of the crappy videoing. It's 7:30 in the morning. I'm tired. I believe it's probably my neighbor's eaves trough drain pipe. Probably blocked. There's a lot of runoff. It's super warm out, so ice and snow's melting off the roofs, coming down pretty solid. And so yeah, I think it's getting in, pooling around where my house is on his side of the fence, because my corner juts out about 4 feet. So I'll deal with that in a bit, but I'll just I'm gonna wet vac the carpets, and soak up a bit more of this runoff, and hopefully it stops eventually. I'm gonna go out and bang that down pipe, down gutter, whatever, and see if there's ice stuck in it. Anyways, that's it. I'm gonna stop for now, do my cleanup. Pain. Alright, I gotta get that one lifted a bit too. Don't really care about this one on the left. I've had this for like 30 years. That one over there I just got a while ago. It's a bit nicer. Not too expensive though, but still. I don't want to have to keep on buying carpets. Bad if I only have to do this a few times a year, you know, winter or spring kind of thing. The good news is that my subfloor dry core setup here, got my drums and the carpet up on top of all that, has been great because it's all flowed underneath, so I won't have to move that. That carpet will be fine, and like I say, I'll get these two carpets dried up. So that's a pain that I didn't think about it, because it was melting yesterday, and I checked it last night though, it was fine. So it started in the middle of the night. And so yeah, it won't be as bad, but I will have to keep checking, because you can see that it's, I don't know if there's enough light to see it, but it is trickling through and coming down. And I'll probably have to keep changing towels as I go. Alright, I gotta do some work. Closing up for now. Check to see if I can see any signs out here. but I can hear the dripping, and I can see water pooling in through there. I don't know if you guys would be able to. Probably not. Anyways, let's see. This thing's not really long enough to... I don't know if that'll do anything. I'll check it later. I don't know if you'll be able to see. The problem is it's all pulling in there, and I bet his gutters come off. And so it's all up against my foundation. Of course, on the other side of the fence I can't get at. What a stupid design. So is that the fucking thing falling off back there? Let's see if I can put the flashlight. So, oh good. You can't really see, but the neighbor has reattached the pipe. Oh, it's probably up now. Up higher. I don't think my phone can see through the crack. But the pooling of water has stopped in there. Awesome. So hopefully anything that's left is draining away. And I'll deal with a bit more water in the basement. And then it'll be good. We'll take a look in the summer. Awesome. Excellent. Alright, so neighbor has reattached the gutter downspout, whatever you call it, drain pipe, on his side, which is in the corner back in that back wall there beside the TV. I think my my foundation juts out about the width of to that conduit there, 4 feet, 5 feet, and so it's not a place I can get at because we got a fence between us, but yeah, he's reattached it. There's just a bit to clean up here. It looks good up there, and dry up the carpets. I got my humidifier running. I got the wet vac. Carpets will dry up, they'll drip dry, and I'll wet vac them a bit more later, but I got most of it. Drums are good. The channeling, whoops, you wouldn't be able to see it, but underneath that dry core there, plastic channels that allow water to go through. So this is good. I can deal with stuff like this once or twice a year until I figure out the foundation issue. But yeah, if it's a couple times a winter, and if I remember, like last night when it was, or all yesterday, it was warm enough and ice and snow was melting from the roofs pretty fast rate, and I came down here and I looked around and it was all good, but it may have been coming through the back wall and it just hadn't reached here yet. So I should have known to just roll back that carpet and this carpet here, the ones that could be waking it up if it gets out of control. If I rolled them back, I had a towel laid down, you know, it would have hit the sensor, I would have noticed it, and it was just going to be localized to the one area. But anyhow, it didn't get anything else, it didn't reach the carpet in the other room. I'm glad about that. Ultimately, if it does ever make it through to this section, it goes underneath, because I did leave a gap when we were there, then it would make its way hopefully into the drain in the the furnace room, washer and dryer room. So, okay, I'm gonna shut it off, wet vac a little bit more here, and then get to work, because it's Friday and I'm working from home. I gotta get some work done. Oh, the joy.